The story of this billion-dollar industry doesn't begin in the ocean. It begins here, in each fragile spark of life.
Life is waiting. Just a few degrees Celsius difference, or a slight change in oxygen.
They are called alevin, still carrying their lunch. This is the most vulnerable stage of their lives.
They look so delicate. How?
In the next few weeks, they have only one task: to absorb and grow, hidden from all dangers.
The first instinct is to swim. The long journey of thousands of miles begins with this tiny tail flick.
When they are old enough, they are transferred here, a perfectly controlled environment. And Sarah ensures that nothing goes wrong.
They are ready for the sea. Their bodies are undergoing a miraculous change to adapt to saltwater. They are called smolt.
This is the image we often see: a warrior returning. But to get here, the story of this industry has had to change completely.
Wild nature is the inspiration, but no longer the main supplier. The world's demand is simply too great.
Parallel to aquaculture is conservation. Michael is returning a rare sturgeon to the wild, an effort to maintain balance.
Traditional fishing, as BOB is doing, is strictly regulated. Each one must be measured. This one is too small, it will be released.
But not everything is farmed. This is an industry that demands precision. David and Mark are operating harvesting equipment, not fish, but oysters. Speed is everything. Each worker, like Jane and Carlos, processes thousands of oysters every day, keeping them as fresh as possible for the table.
Not just salmon or lobster. The demand for specialty seafood, like this sea cucumber, is exploding globally.
The ocean, both a source of life and a challenge. And it is out there where our real story begins.
This is it, the ocean fish farm, where millions of salmon are raised in a controlled natural environment.
To meet demand, farms have moved further out. Operating here in the open sea is a colossal engineering challenge.
Day or night, the work never stops. The flow is continuous, and the fish always need monitoring.
Even in the harsh cold of winter, the fish still thrive. They are cold water fish.
Not all farms are the same. This square cage system allows for a more concentrated process, directly connected to onshore support facilities.
This is a floating city, a complex network of walkways, feed lines, and monitoring systems, operating 24/7.
The sign of a healthy school of fish, active and always hungry.
Each of these cages is a pen containing tens of thousands of fish. And everything is connected to the center.
A new day begins. This stillness will soon be broken by breakfast.
Technology is key. This system not only keeps the fish in, but also protects them from predatory birds and maintains the current.
This is their world, an entire generation growing up together, swimming against the current.
Density is one of the most closely monitored factors. Too many fish, they will be stressed. Too few will not be efficient.
They swim in circles, a schooling behavior that helps them conserve energy and stay alert.
They live in a world of light and shadow, nurtured entirely by human hands.
Some smaller farms still feed manually. Jack has to ensure the feed is evenly distributed. But most modern farms use automated systems. Feed is pumped directly from a central barge.
And this is the fuel. Thousands of tons of high-protein pellets, scientifically formulated for maximum fish growth.
David is on his daily inspection, ensuring every cage is secure, nets are not torn, and systems are functioning properly. A small tear can be a disaster. It could allow thousands of fish to escape or predators to enter.
The human eye is still the most important tool. CHRS can spot signs of disease or stress that cameras cannot.
But technology is providing powerful support. Emily is controlling a robot camera. Her eyes are underwater.
At the control center, they can see everything. Counting fish, monitoring feed intake, checking health. All in real time.
Feeding time. A controlled chaos. This is when the school consumes tons of food in just a few minutes.
And a final layer of protection against uninvited guests from above, like seagulls or eagles.
After 18 to 24 months at sea, they are ready. The next journey will be the final trip.
But salmon is not the only story. Aquaculture supplies everything, from mussels, oysters, raced on these suspended lines.
Below the surface is a vertical city, a man-made ecosystem, maximizing the water column.
Harvesting them is hard work, sifting through tons of seabed mud. Far out at sea, another hunt. This is fishing, not farming. The giants of the ocean, bluefin tuna. One of the fastest predators on the planet. A single fish like this can be worth tens of thousands of dollars.
Modern purse seining technology allows them to herd entire schools of fish. Efficient, but also controversial.
Back to the salmon farm. Harvest day. Steve and Jose work non-stop. Fish must be transported as quickly as possible.
Sample checks are done randomly. This weight is satisfactory. They are ready for the factory.
No time is wasted. Fish are transferred directly from the cage to the boat, then pumped into the factory. They never even touch the air.
Quality is here. Fresh, firm, ready for the line. Thousands of them in just an hour.
Inside, this is a symphony of efficiency. Each worker, like Maria and Frank, performs a single task.
Luis specializes in evisceration. One cut.
Precise, quick.
Next one. His speed dictates the pace of the entire line.
But the era of manual labor is slowly receding. This is the factory of the future. Clean, efficient, and largely automated.
After processing, the fish are moved to the sorting line, where technology begins to play its role.
Some stages still require humans. Sorting fish by weight, preparing them for the next machine. The filleting machine.
After sorting, they are sent onto the factory's highway. Each fish is now a unit of data.
Humans supervise machines. Maria and Kevin are the last line of defense to ensure nothing goes wrong before the automatic process begins.
Temperature is the enemy. Fish must be kept at the perfect coldness. Tony is transferring them from the ice bath to the processing line.
Precision down to the millimeter. Anne must ensure each fish is perfectly positioned, otherwise the million-dollar machine will cut incorrectly.
From here, the fish are lifted higher. Each machine in this factory is designed for a single task. And everything is controlled by Ken. He is the conductor, adjusting speed, pressure, and blades with just a touch. A huge volume of work. Tens of thousands of fish per shift.
Peter is loading fish into the cutting machine, a machine without emotion, designed to cut precisely through the backbone.
The next step could be scaling or skinning. These rollers process the fish surface in less than a second.
Speed and precision. This blade glides through, taking only the skin, preserving maximum flesh.
And here is the result. From a whole fish, now 2 perfect fillets. But the process is not over yet.
There is no delay. As soon as one's cut, the next fillet falls.
Martha is performing a final check, any defect, and this fish will be removed from the automated line.
Now, Julia will hand the fish over to the machine. From here, humans will not touch it again until it is complete.
First step, head removal. Fast, clean, consistent. Nothing goes to waste. These heads will be processed into fish meal or fish oil, returning to the cycle.
This is an automated journey through a stainless steel labyrinth.
The laser-guided blades remove bones, fat, with absolute precision.
Robot arms sort fillets by weight and quality. Humans cannot work this fast and accurately.
And here is the final product. A perfect salmon fillet ready for the table.
Even the smallest pin bones are removed. This machine extracts hundreds of bones at once. And finally, the human touch. Carla is looking for anything the machine might have missed.
This fish meets the standard. Martha sends it on to continue its journey.
An endless flow.
Water and compressed air technology keeps the blades sharp and clean.
No hesitation. Efficiency above all else.
A stark reminder of the scale of this industry.
Each of these fillets is the culmination of years of research and millions of dollars of investment.
Not a single bone is allowed to pass.
The collaboration between human and machine is key.
Robots don't need rest. They work 24/7.
The final stage, ensuring a perfect product.
It all begins here.
Inspired by this. Think to replace this.
From the sea to the table. It's a global industry.
An industry based on science.
Symphony and technology. From humble beginnings. Point through the most fragile stages.
The final product, packaged and ready. Their journey ends here, to begin a new journey, to your dining table.
Dawn breaks over the Bering Sea. This isn't just a job, it's a daily battle with nature, a legacy passed down through generations. But to claim their bounty, they must rely on each other. Collective strength is the only force that conquers the ocean.
And then, the moment of truth. The sound of this silver hitting the deck. It's the sound of life, life.
Every net is a mystery. Sometimes salmon, sometimes herring. But the exhaustion after each trip never changes. This work demands the power of machinery, but its soul lies in the experience of these individuals.
But not all seafood comes from the hunt. Some is the result of patience. This is the future of the industry, sustainable aquaculture.
Moving between these farms requires speed, racing across the waves to ensure the supply is never interrupted.
Seen from above, the scale is astonishing. These endless circles hold the protein for millions.
But beneath the boats and cages lies a completely different world. A world of speed and grace, the true inhabitants of the ocean.
Here is the target, bluefin tuna. They are living torpedoes, perfectly designed for speed and endurance.
But at these depths, light is a luxury. Every creature, large or small, must struggle to survive in perpetual twilight.
To understand them, some must immerse themselves in that world. Samantha, a marine biologist, is capturing
As night falls, the sea transforms.
Light becomes a beacon, drawing life from the darkness.
This is one of nature's grandest spectacles, the tuna tornado, a dance of survival.
They are the embodiment of wild power. And it's this abundant strength that drives an entire global industry.
But tuna aren't the only predators. Jason, a shark expert, is studying the apex ruler, a risky but necessary interaction.
The ocean still holds many secrets. Giant creatures glide past our vision, like ghosts.
And our story shifts to a different kind of seafood. Here, in coastal farms, a new generation of lobsters is being nurtured.
Beneath the surface, they grow in a controlled environment, safe from predators, awaiting harvest day.
This is the California spiny lobster. No big claws like its main relatives, but its tail meat is one of the most sought after in the world. But most aren't farmed. They're hunted. This is the scene inside a trap, a bait-filled feast they can't resist. Not everyone uses traps. Some professional divers harvest by hand. It's a selective but risky job.
And here, in coastal tide pools, an even more delicate cultivation industry is taking shape.
Back to the tuna. This is industrial scale hunting, the purse seine method. Miles of net deployed to encircle an entire school.
All evenly. Tighten the circle, Emily. Faster!
Now it's time to haul the net, a process demanding
Inside the net, the energy is unbelievable. Thousands of fish, each weighing hundreds of pounds, fighting to their last breath.
The circle tightens. No room to swim, air running out. The hunt is almost over.
Amazingly, Daniel, one of the bravest fishermen, is inside the net, waiting among the panicked giants to herd them.
Their survival instinct is extraordinary. One last effort, one final leap for freedom.
This is pure hard labor. Every inch of net hauled is drenched in sweat and salty seawater.
But before the harvest, they must sow. The net deployment process can take hours, a colossal wall erected in the heart of the ocean. Jennifer spots something unusual. This creature isn't a tuna. Sometimes, the net catches uninvited guests.
Oh my God, this one must be over 300 kilos.
That's a huge haul, Patricia. And here's the reward, a gigantic blue...
As night falls, a different kind of fishing begins, using bright lights to attract prey.
Light attracts plankton. Smaller fish gather, and following them are larger predators.
A nocturnal world where light is the bait and darkness hides the prey.
But in a different sea, an ancient, more sustainable method is in use. This is pole and line fishing.
The boat's water spraying system mimics a fleeing school of baitfish. It triggers the tuna's hunting instinct, creating a wild and chaotic feeding frenzy.
The entire vessel is a machine designed to hunt. Each fisherman is a link. They must work as one. Speed is key.
After weeks at sea, the journey home to land. But the work is only half done. Now is the...
Welcome to Port San Pedro. This is where rock-hard frozen tuna touch down for the first time. Each cluster is worth thousands of dollars.
From sea to land, these refrigerated trucks will immediately transport them to the next leg of their journey, the processing plant.
For smaller hauls, they're unloaded via chute. An industrial silver river, the sound of metal striking frozen fish echoing through the port.
Not a second is wasted. Timothy ensures the flow is uninterrupted.
Inside the ship, cleanup and preparation for the next voyage have already begun. The largest fish are handled separately, taken directly into the ship's freezer compartment.
They are poured directly into the hold, where temperatures are kept at deep sub-zero levels for preservation.
At the factory, they are immediately put on the line. Time is the enemy. Everything must be kept absolutely frozen to ensure quality.
They no longer resemble the powerful creatures of the sea. Now, they are raw material.
They begin their journey through the factory, a labyrinth of stainless steel and ice.
Inside the factory, everything is stainless steel. Hygiene is absolute. The line has been started, ready for a batch of tons of fish.
First challenge, how to process a frozen block of fish. The answer is power. This bandsaw cuts through fish like butter. Sharon is an artisan. She must remove the skin and bones while preserving the most valuable meat. This is a job requiring experience and a steady hand.
The fillets are then fed through an automated processing machine, possibly for surface thawing or cleaning.
From here, the fillets are moved on. Gary and Karen must work quickly to sort them. Each piece has its own value.
This is the heart of the factory. Hundreds of workers, each performing a specific task, from filleting.
And here the final product is taking shape. Jessica is cutting the fish into perfect blocks, and they will soon be in.
From the deep ocean to the dining table, a journey of strength, technology, and incredible meticulousness. A perfect transformation process. Back to lobster. Dawn over the California waters. Andrew, a third-generation lobster boat captain, is preparing for a tiring day of hauling traps.
Each boat like this is a floating factory. Their mission, to retrieve hundreds of scattered buoys, each connected to a treasure below.
No time to rest. As soon as a buoy is found, Gregory, the crewmate, rushes into position.
He operates the hydraulic winch. This is when muscle power gives way to machinery, pulling hundreds of meters of rope from the seabed.
And there it is, the first trap breaks the surface. This is always a thrilling moment. Is it full or completely empty?
This is a chorus repeated hundreds of times a day. Haul, unload, bait, and throw back.
This haul looks plentiful. California spiny lobsters are packed inside.
Even before it surfaced, the shadow of the trap told them of the impending bounty.
Below, other traps lie dormant, waiting. A game of patience between man and crustacean.
On a smaller boat, William and Sandra do the same job. No large winches, just human strength and perseverance.
Preparing bait and repairing traps is as important as hauling them. Every detail must be perfect.
But the ocean holds more delicate treasures. A sophisticated industry is developing. Abalone farming, a premium sea snail. Everything starts here, the hatchery. Millions of abalone larvae are nurtured in this strictly controlled environment.
They are almost invisible, fragile, and vulnerable. Their survival rate in the wild is extremely low.
This is their home. These specially designed trays, also called abalone condominiums, provide the perfect surface for them to attach to.
Once the larvae have rooted, they begin a new life. They will spend many years here, eating algae and growing, protected.
Martha is checking their development. It's a slow process, requiring patience. They grow only a few millimeters each month.
When they are large enough, they are moved out to sea. Joshua carefully places these condominiums into...
It's a meticulous job. Michelle must ensure each condominium is securely fastened, providing a safe...
And here, on the ocean floor, the farm of the future takes shape. A perfect blend of technology and nature.
Back to the lobsters. When they arrive at the factory, the race against time begins. They must be processed immediately.
Each portion is carefully sorted and packaged. Mark is preparing them for international markets, where they command very high prices.
Live lobsters are placed into temporary holding tanks. The water is aerated and kept cold, simulating their ocean environment.
Fishing regulations are very strict. Elizabeth must measure each one. If too small, they must be released back into the sea.
This is the result of a hard day's work. Hundreds of pounds of lobster, ready to enter the process.
Nothing is approximate. Anthony is weighing each tray of tails. In this industry, weight is money.
Each tail is handled individually. Deborah is ensuring they are perfectly protected before freezing.
Lobsters are brought to the sorting table. Christopher and Laura must work quickly to sort them by size before they are cooked or frozen.
From here, the line takes over. Paul ensures the conveyor is continuously fed. Efficiency is everything.
This is the glazing process. A thin layer of ice is sprayed onto frozen lobsters, protecting them from freezer burn during long transportation.
A frosty curtain, the final layer of protection before they are boxed and sealed, ready to travel the world.
After glazing, they are manually packed for the final time. Kimberly and Kevin work in a cold environment, ensuring every box is perfect.
Some higher-end products will be vacuum sealed. The automated line feeds them into the machine.
And the final step, air is removed, sealing the ocean's flavor. Ready for its journey to your table.
Not all lobsters are sold live or frozen. A large portion is cooked right in the factory.
They are cooked in large saltwater tanks, preserving their characteristic sea flavor.
Joshua is overseeing the cooking process. A few minutes are enough for them to be perfectly cooked.
They turn a characteristic vibrant red. From here, they will be immediately cooled to maintain the crispness of the meat.
And the abalone we saw? After many years of cultivation, they also go through a similar journey, from condominiums on the seabed
to this processing line. A long journey from a tiny larva to a refined delicacy.
From the dawn mist on the Bering Sea to the steam in the processing factories, it's a story of courage.
A story about seafood. It doesn't just start in the ocean, it starts with a number. 86 grams, that's precision. This is Mike. He's the first line of defense. His job, deciding which product is worthy to proceed. 1 second per decision.
What they're processing today?
Abalone.
A delicacy. Once shucked, they're placed into trays, ready for the next stage.
Speed is key. This line never stops. Each piece of meat is sorted, rinsed, and moved. Time is the enemy of freshness.
Jenna is sorting by size. From these baskets, they'll be weighed and packaged. This is meticulous manual labor.
MIT, keep up the pace in Zone C. We need to finish this batch before lunch break.
But before they reach the factory, their story truly begins here. Amidst the tranquility of the Pacific. These are farms, not on land, but on water. Miles of buoy lines, concealing a treasure beneath. Oysters.
And this is the farmer, Hank. His office is the entire bay. His crops are harvested from a depth of 10 meters.
This seal, it's more than just a brand. It's a promise of origin. From this bay, straight to your table.
This is their world, beneath the surface, suspended. They filter the water and they wait. Each of these cages is a seafood apartment building. Safe from predators, they thrive on the rich nutrients of the currents. But not all are grown in deep water. Further north, in Samish Bay, they use an older method, intertidal farming.
When the tide comes in, they eat. When the tide goes out, they are exposed. A harsh dance with the ocean.
This is the result of months of waiting, collected, ready for their journey back to the factory.
This is a fragile ecosystem. Farming here must be balanced with nature. Clean water is everything.
This work is not for the faint of heart. That's Frank. He battles mud, tides, and weather. This is the most authentic labor.
Back south, in Eld Inlet, Sam and Leo's team is starting their day. They use a specialized boat to harvest floating cage systems.
Look at this batch. Perfect. This is why we do it. Top quality.
These boats are designed for speed and stability. They are essential tools for operating a large farm like this.
Watch your hands. Sam, hold it tight. Leo, prepare the hook.
They move from line to line, a job requiring precision to avoid damaging the equipment suspended below.
Sức mạnh và sự ổn định, đó là những gì con thuyền này mang lại. Nó cho phép họ làm việc hiệu quả bất kể thời tiết.
All right, we're here. Start pulling the cages on the starboard side.
With Hank, each of these buoy lines is a familiar path. He could steer them with his eyes closed, but he never does. Concentration is paramount.
This is when muscle power speaks. Each of these lines can weigh hundreds of pounds. Leo is truly feeling the weight of the sea. Good. Next basket. Hurry up, the tide is changing.
A full shipment. These baskets hold the essence of the bay. Now it's time to bring them back to land, completing the loop.
The work isn't over once ashore. The cargo must be secured. Every oyster in here is money.
But to meet greater demand, Oregon farms deploy true beasts. The Mary Elizabeth. It doesn't use cage.
Mary Elizabeth harvests and pre-processes right at sea. Salty seawater immediately washes away mud. Astonishingly efficient. In the cockpit, technology guides the way. Sonar screens help them navigate precisely along oyster beds.
It's been a long workday. They set sail before dawn and only return when the sun has set. The ocean demands dedication.
Đừng để nó rối.
Raw product, straight from the sea. It's heavy, dirty, and teeming with ocean life.
This isn't just oysters. This is a miniature ecosystem. And the next step is separating the oysters from this tangled mess.
Push harder. It's stuck in the corner.
Mark, hook it up. Quick. The crane is about to lift. To meet demand, large farms use vessels like this, the Dominion. This is no longer a boat. It's a floating factory.
When returning to port, the unloading begins. Bill is operating the excavator. He has to be very skillful. One of these mesh bags weighs a ton.
Slowly, Bill. A little lower. All right, release it. This is the sound of accomplishment. Tons of protein from the sea, ready for the next steg. Cleaning.
Carlos must ensure the oysters are spread evenly. This machine will shake them, sorting them by size. The first step on land. A fierce torrent. High-pressure water blasts away anything that remains.
Send the oysters up. Conveyor belt number 2 is running.
Inside the machine, they are polished. This process not only cleans, but also shapes the shells, making shucking easier later on.
They are sorted by size, large, medium, small. Each has its own market.
It's a continuous process, almost entirely automated.
After screening and rinsing, they are almost ready.
From here, they are moved into holding cages and begun their journey to the deep processing plant.
Some batches will be par-steamed. The hot steam helps the oyster shells open, facilitating mass shucking.
Production here is massive. Each steamer batch can process thousands of oysters.
But for premium fresh oysters, there's no substitute for the human touch. Maria can shuck hundreds of oysters like this.
The most beautiful oysters, perfect shell, will be packaged whole. These are destined for restaurants where presentation is as important as taste. Check the shells carefully. If there's a crack, discard it immediately. Only grade A. The shucked oyster meat, or shucked oysters, will be packed into containers or jars, ready for cooking. Everything is done quickly and hygienically. Temperature is key to maintaining freshness.
And finally, a journey of thousands of miles through storms, machinery, and diligent hands ends here.
This is Chef Anthony. For him, this isn't just preparing food, it's a performance, you see? One swift cut, clean. This is it. The freshness of the water, all is encapsulated in a single moment.
But the story of premium seafood isn't just about oysters. Hundreds of miles away, in inland...
They are surprisingly agile for their size.
That one's Steve. He's always curious about the camera.
Look at it, a prehistoric fish.
They've existed since the time of dinosaurs, and they carry within them a precious black gold.
They are raised at a high density, but the water flow is always strictly controlled.
Strength and grace, a combination that has allowed them to survive for millions of years.
This is the scale of the industry. Miles of artificial rivers designed to optimize fish growth rate and health.
Every fish in here is a long-term investment. This one is about 8 years old. A few more years. Patience is key in this game, Jackson.
Thỉnh thoảng, bạn sẽ thấy một cá thể đặc biệt như thế này. Một con cá tầm bạch tạng. Trứng của nó, loại trứng cá muối vàng.
They don't have scales, but these bony plates. A natural armor.
But the real story is here, in the lab. This is the decisive moment. Chloe is separating the eggs from the...
No ordinary metal is used, as it can spoil the flavor. Just a touch of salt is added. No preservatives, just purity.
Each tin is hand-packed. This is a luxury product, and it demands attention to every last detail. Look at that sheen. Each pearl is a jewel of the river, the result of a decade of patience and science.
They are kept at near freezing temperatures, waiting for their final journey to the consumer.
This batch is going to New York. Make sure the labels are straight.
But how do they know when the fish are ready?
Harvesting happens quickly. Machinery is used to move fish weighing hundreds of pounds.
It's a battle. These fish are incredibly strong. It takes several people to control them.
In addition to land-based tanks, some farms use gigantic net pens on reservoirs. This is a more natural way of farming.
Inside each of these pens is a fortune. Hundreds of sturgeon maturing.
The work here also demands patience. These guardians watch over a fortune growing day by day.
A peaceful scene, but beneath lies a multi-million-dollar industry.
Come on, girl. Just a quick check. Let's see how your eggs are doing.
Patience. That's the word you hear most often here. Waiting for the sun, waiting for the water, and waiting for the fish to mature. The scale of these operations is truly incredible, all hidden away in the remote regions of Idaho.
Sometimes harvesting requires traditional methods. Peter and John are herding juvenile fish into an easier catch area.
Another one. Get it in quick. Woo!
It takes a whole team to move the broodstock. They are too big and too valuable to risk.
The work here requires delicacy. Dearteride is ultrasonically scanning the fish. They must determine the exact moment the eggs are ripe.
Next one, doctor. Number 7.
Yes.
They can see each egg inside, measuring their size. This technology allows them to harvest eggs at perfect ripeness without killing the fish.
But the story doesn't end there. At the hatchery, a new generation of sturgeon is beginning. The life cycle continues.
The water flows continuously, mimicking a river. That's the secret to firm fish meat.
Oxygen, food, flow, the 3 elements of life.
An ancient beauty, nurtured by modern science.
Back in the lab, everything is handled with the highest hygiene standards.
Every surface is continuously cleaned.
And nothing is wasted. After caviar extraction, the sturgeon meat, vốn được coi là một món ngon, cũng được sử.
The meat is smoked, canned, or sold fresh. Every part of this magnificent fish is respected. From the muddy tidal flats of Washington to the high-tech labs of Idaho, The story of American seafood is here, in this controlled stillness, is the beginning of a culinary journey spanning decades.
But this stillness doesn't mean neglect. Constant vigilance is required. Mark understands that each of these tanks holds a fortune.
Not all of them are raised indoors. In California, these giants have room to grow in channels that mimic their natural environment.
The scale is truly astonishing. This isn't just farming, this is precise aquaculture engineering, stretching across acres.
And in Washington, we see another method. These pens keep the fish in the deep, cool waters of natural lakes.
But perhaps the most spectacular setting is here in Alaska. The icy cold waters of...
As the day ends, stillness descends. But beneath this calm surface, thousands of creatures continue to thrive.
And dawn brings the feast. This is the sound of growth. Each fish's diet is rigorously monitored to ensure ultimate quality.
Look at them, sturgeon. They are living relics, a species that has existed since the time of dinosaurs.
Patience, because what the world seeks is not its flesh, but something more precious than gold hidden within.
After many years, the decisive moment has arrived. David is probing one of the fish to see if
high technology meets ancient technique. Like a prenatal ultrasound, Kevin is checking the ovaries.
Every factor must be perfect. Peter checks water quality for hours. A small mistake could destroy the results of 10 years of waiting.
Once the fish is confirmed ripe, it is separated from the school. James and his team begin the final sorting process.
Fish that are not yet ready are transferred. They are released back to continue growing. Only the most perfect fish.
Even in the final days, diet is crucial. Jack is providing the last energy-rich meal to ensure peak egg quality.
Of course, not every harvest is so delicate. For salmon or cod, it's raw power and efficiency, a fierce dance with the ocean.
From the farm, the most selected sturgeon are brought here. Joan is receiving the treasure Cherokee. This is the starting point of the refinement process.
Each fish undergoes a final inspection. Michael ensures that only the healthiest, most intact fish proceed.
And here.
The moment of truth. Sarah makes the precise incision to reveal the black gold that the world craves.
The raw roe, or eggs, are extracted immediately. This is a pure, perishable ingredient that demands speed and care.
Everything is measured. Emily is precisely weighing every gram. In this industry, weight is money. From here, the roe begins its transformative journey. The next step is the most crucial, cleaning and separating the eggs.
This stage requires masterful skill. David is preparing to beat the eggs.
No machine does it better than human hands. Just enough pressure to release the eggs, but not to break them. It's an art.
The eggs are then rinsed with pure brine. This process not only cleanses but also begins to firm the egg's delicate outer membrane.
Now the roe is separated. Olivia is checking by touch, feeling the elasticity and texture of each individual grain.
After rinsing, they must be drained immediately. Excess moisture is the enemy of fine caviar.
Here's the result. Thousands of perfect, separated, glistening pearls. But they are not yet caviar.
This is the Malasol moment. Daniel adds a precisely measured amount of salt. Malasol, meaning little salt, is
Before packaging, every batch must pass rigorous inspection. They are looking for uniformity in size, color, and most importantly, the integrity of the egg casing.
The final packaging. Chris is sealing the tin. Air is pressed out. From this moment, the aging and flavor development process begins.
Some are packaged in glass jars, allowing customers to see exactly what they are buying. Absolute confidence in the product.
retention samples are taken. Every batch is archived, monitored, a library of flavor. Robert is one of the tasting experts. He doesn't just taste, he checks the sound when the eggs burst, the richness.
Meanwhile, Anna verifies everything, from salinity to purity. There's no room for error.
From farm to table, it's a journey of dedication, science, and passion from people like Jessica.
Of course, sturgeon aren't the only treasure. Oysters from Washington Bay are purified in these tanks before reaching the restaurant.
They are cultivated on long lines of buoys, absorbing the essence of the ocean.
Beneath the surface, they thrive in a protected environment, safe from predators.
And in Florida, spiny lobsters.
They are processed quickly, preserving the sweet taste of the sea.
From sturgeon to salmon, from oysters to lobsters, it is all a symphony of patience and respect, a gift from the sea.